The bank account was empty. The team had exactly 3 weeks of runway left. The startup was sitting at zero, and failure was imminent. When founders hit this point, the survival instinct is to hide the crisis. Most reach for a polished pitch deck, attempting to mask the smell of a dying company with high-resolution growth charts. This founder spent weeks in a cycle of presenting those optimized slides, projecting total control while the clock ran down. The result was a uniform wall of rejection. Room after room, every investor offered the same "not interested." In a financial crisis, polished optics rarely work. Investors evaluate risk for a living. They can sense the panic behind a perfect presentation, and it signals that the founder is either out of touch or hiding the truth. Navigating this stage requires treating investor relations as a game of attrition. You have to assume the no is the default setting. This chart shows the venture capital pipeline. Thousands of contacts filter down through due diligence, ending with zero capital deployed. At this bottleneck, standard pitches collapse. Flawless numbers from a dying company signal an illusion, making actual risk impossible to calculate. To survive, a founder has to recognize when the standard operating procedure, the "everything is great" pitch, has become their biggest liability. With only weeks of runway left, the founder took a different path. They made one final, unscripted call. The slides remained closed. The revenue projections stayed hidden. The conversation shifted to a transparent breakdown of why the business was currently failing. Honesty became the primary tactic. By stripping away the sales veneer, the founder focused on the gritty, unvarnished state of the operations. Look at the difference in these two trajectories. The smooth line is the standard pitch everyone expects. The jagged blue line is the reality pitch. The founder spotlighted the dying runway and the specific operational bottlenecks that were stalling growth. Voluntarily introducing vulnerability in a negotiation is a powerful trust builder. By admitting where the ship is taking on water, you prove that you actually know where the holes are. Listing challenges only works if you provide a definitive direction forward. This is the vision pivot. The founder connected the current failure points to a precise plan for recovery. They bridge the gap between a broken present and a functional future. This chart defines the conviction premium. In venture capital, conviction is a measurable psychological state. It occurs only at the intersection of brutal reality acknowledgement and unwavering vision. This combination changes the investor's perspective. You aren't asking them to ignore the risk. You are demonstrating that you have the resilience to manage it. Shifting to this grounded reality forces the investor to bet on the founder's capacity to solve problems rather than their ability to build a spreadsheet. The investor realized that a founder who understands their own failure points is safer than one who ignores them. That clarity earned the check. Within months, the startup moved from the brink of insolvency to a scaling operation. The turnaround was visible on the office floor. The expanded team brought a high-frequency energy back into a workspace that had been completely silent just a quarter earlier. The company's survival was the direct result of that tactical shift in the relationship between founder and investor. The funding followed the trust. The investor wasn't buying the numbers. They bought the transparent path forward. Early-stage ideas are fragile. Most of the original numbers in a pitch deck will be wrong within a year. Investors use this scale. On one side is the static idea. On the other is founder conviction. As the business evolves, the weight always moves toward the person steering the ship. When a company is facing failure, authentic resilience is the only asset that holds its value. That single call shifted the company from a bankruptcy filing toward a growth series. One moment of absolute honesty provided the bridge the business needed to survive. True conviction is forged in the crucible of struggle. It remains the rarest and most valuable thing a founder can bring to the table.